to talk to you guys about different fitness terms that are common in the fitness industry that sometimes aren't always explained to us, especially if you're a beginner. You might not know what some of these terms mean. So my goal today is to help you kind of get familiar with some of the terms. That way you're able to read workouts and know what they mean. So let's get started. I have my lovely little list here. I don't know if you can see it, but I wrote out some common terms, so I'm just going to go down the list and kind of explain them to you guys. So the first term we're going to talk about today is a set. So within different sets of exercises, there's also reps. So let's say you have squats, for example, and the exercise says do 10 reps of 3 sets. So you would do 10 squats, take a rest, 10 squats, take a rest, and then 10 more squats. So that would be 3 sets of squats, and within those 3 sets you're doing 10 reps. So hopefully that makes a little sense. I don't think there's any better way for me to explain it to you guys. So basically a set, you can have a set range between, like, let's say 1 set to 5 sets. It just kind of depends on what muscle you're working and what your goals are. So for example, the other day I was working legs and I was doing those cable kickbacks like I explained with the cable machine in my last video. So I did 4 sets of 12 reps. So that would be 12 reps, take a rest, 12 reps, take a rest, 12 reps, take a rest, and 12 reps, take a rest. So there's 4 sets of 12 reps each. So a total of, oh gosh, math, 48 reps. So total of 48 reps, but you break it down into 4 different sets. So we covered set and we covered rep. So the reps are just simple one movement, and you do anywhere between, if you're doing more powerlifting, you'll do more of like 5 reps, whereas if you're trying to build muscle or tone up, it's more like 10 to 12 reps. Okay, the next term we're going to talk about is superset. So I really like doing supersets in my workout because it helps keep my heart rate up and it just maximizes your time in the gym. You don't have to spend as long in the gym. So a superset is doing 2 exercises back to back and not taking a rest. So like I said in the previous term, a set, so if you had 4 sets of 10 reps, you would combine it with another exercise, and most of the time you do like opposing muscles. So let's say you're working back and bis, you would do a back exercise followed right next with a bi exercise. So let's say you're doing 10 lat pull downs, and then you move right on to like 10 dumbbell curls, and you do that back and forth for however many sets you're doing. So let's say you're doing 3 sets of lat pull downs and supersetted with 3 sets of bicep curls. So you would do 10 lat pull down reps followed by 10 bicep curls followed by 10 lat pull downs followed by 10 bicep curls followed by 10 lat pull downs followed by 10 bicep curls, and there's no breaks. So basically you're just trying to maximize the time in the gym. So that is what's called a superset, and you can do this with whatever muscle groups you're working that day. There's also what's called a drop set. So I like to do this a lot on leg extensions. So I'll start out doing like 10 reps at like 50 pounds or something, and then I'll drop down. Once my muscles get tired, I'll drop down to 40 pounds, do like 10 reps of 40 pounds, and then you just keep continuing going down. I usually like to stop at like 10 pounds. That way just you're getting the full effect of each drop down of weight depending on what you start at. I also like to do this sometimes until fatigue. So let's say I start on, let's go with 50 pounds again. So I start on 50-pound leg extensions, and then I'll go until I fatigue, which is usually between 10 and 15 reps. And then I'll drop the weight down to, let's say, 40 pounds. And let's say I can go 15 reps on 40 pounds. Then I'll drop the weight down to 30 pounds. And let's say I can go 20 reps on 30 pounds. And then once I get tired there, then I'll drop it down to 20 pounds. And let's say I do 25 reps. And then I get tired, so then I drop it down to 10 pounds for, let's say, 30 reps or 10 reps or whatever, however fatigued your muscles are. It's going to depend on each individual. So that's a drop set is just dropping your weight down, and it helps the muscles fatigue a little bit more. And that is also what I explained as going until fatigue. So 2 terms in one. The next term I'm going to talk about is a negative. So negatives are really good for certain muscle groups. I like to do negatives also with the leg extension. So what you'll do is when you push your legs up, you'll hold them and kind of drop down slowly. So instead of going through the movement like this, you'll go up and then lower down slowly. You can also do these with push-ups and different exercises. So a push-up you would, so the negative would be you're up in the push-up position and you lower down slowly. So that would be the negative of a push-up. Also on like pull-ups, a negative would be you pull up and then you drop down slowly. So that's what a negative rep is called, or what a negative rep is. The next thing I want to talk about is HIIT, H-I-I-T, high intensity interval training. So basically high intensity interval training is cardio workout, and you do more maximal effort, so it takes a shorter amount of time to get the effects of your cardio workout. I currently do HIIT with BBG, so BBG is Bikini Body Guide by Kayla. It's also called Sweat with Kayla on the app. But I do this on days opposite of my weight days. So I'll, let's say, lift legs Monday, do HIIT arms and abs Tuesday, and then do HIIT legs on Wednesday, followed by weight arms Thursday, and then BBG full body on Friday. So that's just an example of a breakdown of my week of exercises. So HIIT is, let's say you're doing, it's like circuit training, but with cardio. So let's say your first circuit is 10 burpees, 10 squats, 10 lunges, 100 reps of jump rope. And then you do that circuit for however long you plan to do your cardio for. So HIIT is just breaking down the exercise into little increments, and you're doing it fast with no breaks. You can take breaks. There's different styles of HIIT. So like you could do 30-second sprint followed by 10-second recovery. 30-second sprint, 10-second recovery. Kind of depends on where you're at in your fitness journey and how intense you want your HIIT sessions to be. The next term that's commonly used is LISS, low intensity steady state cardio. It's also called just steady state cardio. So this is where you're like on a stair climber for 30 minutes at just one level, or you're on the elliptical for 45 minutes at one level, or you're walking outside walking your dog for 30 minutes. Those are all low intensity steady state cardio, and it's really good for fat burning. When your body is working at a lower intensity, it's using burning fat for fuel. Whereas if you're doing more of like a HIIT style, your body is using carbs or carbohydrates as the fuel source. So it kind of depends on which one you choose and what your goals are. The next thing I want to touch on is myofascial release, or foam rolling. So like I showed you guys yesterday, the purple foam roller that I have, that's a really good tool that you can use to help recover your muscles faster. And there's also, like, you can buy little balls and roll out different muscles on your body, and that's what myofascial release is. It's helping break up that lactic acid, like I explained to you guys, and just helps your muscles recover faster. It's really good. I like to do it at the end of my workout or on rest days. And then the next thing I want to touch on that kind of goes along with this is when to stretch. So there's a lot of different opinions on when you should stretch and whatnot, and I'm talking about like static stretching. So like sitting on the ground and reaching to touch your toes. That's static stretching. And you should do this more about the end of your workout, not so much at the beginning because your muscles aren't warmed up. So at the beginning, you should be doing more mobility or stability work, such dynamic warm-ups such as like butt kicks, high knees, runner's lunges. Those are just some examples. So that's kind of getting your muscles warmed up to get ready to do the work in your actual workout. And then the static stretching should come after your cool down. So you'll do a cool down after your workout and then followed by static stretching, such as toe touches, stretching like your triceps or your back or whatnot. So that's the difference between those types of stretching. And then training split is another term that's commonly used. So people will be like, hey, what's your training split like this week? So let's say my training split was Monday I'm doing back and bis, Tuesday I'm doing cardio, Wednesday I'm doing glutes and hamstrings, Thursday I'm doing shoulders and triceps, and then Friday I'm doing quads and calves. So that's just an example of a different workout split. So it's going to vary by what your goals are and if you want to build muscle, if you want to lose fat, and there's a whole bunch of factors that go into determining what your workout split is. I currently like doing weights and hits, so I'll switch on and off. And you really want to make sure that you're giving your muscles proper time to recover. So let's say at my training split I do legs twice a week. I don't really want to do them back to back because your muscles won't have time to recover, therefore they're not going to grow or you could get injured. So if you do legs on Monday, maybe do legs again on Thursday. So your training split is going to vary, and yeah, that's what a training split is. Next thing I want to talk about is macros. So I talked about the macros on the Nuts and More yesterday, and I kind of wanted to explain what that means a little bit. So macros, the three main macros are proteins, fats, and carbs. A lot of people track them if they're trying to lose weight or bulk up, or it just depends on your lifestyle and what you prefer doing. But when I read a nutrition label, I look at the macros. Carbs, don't be scared of carbs. Carbs are your friend. I know you guys see a lot of people trying to cut out carbs or eat a low-fat diet, but you really need all those nutrients to thrive and perform well in the gym, and also to lose weight. You need those things in your body. The amount is going to differ by person, but you need them in your life. As far as other fitness terms, if there are some that you guys are unfamiliar with, just also comment below and let me know, and I will try to answer those in the next video. Next thing I'm going to share with you guys is a breakfast or lunch idea. I really like eggs, so I'm kind of on an egg kick recently, so I will show you guys that. Okay guys, that is my simple, fast, easy lunch or breakfast, whichever you prefer. I eat it for dinner too, so you can really eat it whenever you want. That is it for today. Comment below and let me know what you'd like to see next. See ya!